Anger back with you for another episode of the Mr. Anger Show. Thank you for coming in and seeing me or whatever. Thank you, subscribers and everybody, for following me. I greatly appreciate that. I know I'm a little bit scruffy and roughy. I need to shave. Let's see. Just got back from seeing the new Infinity War movie. Now, parental advisory, I do use a little bit of language and so on and so forth. So, in case you're easily offended, please, eh, might want to tune out. Now, I am going to do a spoiler. I mean, it's going to be another review that I'm going to upload a little bit later or do just after this video that's going to have spoilers in it. So if you pay attention to the title because I will label it warning spoilers are in these. So, yeah. Anyways, just got back from seeing Avengers Infinity War. Is it a great movie? Yes, it is. It is a great movie. It is very enjoyable, very fun to watch. Uh, Depending on your likes and dislikes of the Marvel characters, is how you're going to feel when you leave the theater. Uh, the storyline's pretty basic. Thanos is after the Infinity Stones. I mean, it's common knowledge on what the movie's about, and the Avengers are trying to stop Thanos from getting the Infinity Stones, and that's how that's the premises of the movie. It is a darker take on the Avengers universe. It is. Um, it's got a much more darker feel to it. Uh, it's very well shot. It's very well done. Uh, there are some things, some mistakes that are made in the movie, which I'll cover that because I can't give away these mistakes without spoiling things for people. It is very entertaining, but you can spot the mistakes. The mistakes are easily spotted. Uh, it's not like something that you could just erase from your mind. It's there. It's obvious. The special effects were really good, except in a few locations. A few locations, kind of get the DC feel. You can tell it's computer generated, and it kind of loses you in those moments. So expect that. The story is really good. The character development is good. Uh, so if you're a fan of the Marvel Universe, definitely go see this movie. Uh, is it Marvel's best outing? No. By far, no. I mean, let's be honest here. It's not their best outing. I mean, there's movies that I prefer above this movie. I prefer the original Avengers, Black Panther, Deadpool, uh, you know, other movies, Iron Man movies over this one. Uh, but here's the thing, it's more of, you know, I don't know. Some people walk away saying this is an awesome movie, but is it everything that everybody's hyped it up to be? No, no. It has its flaws. It has a lot of downtime. It has a lot of drawn out moments. Uh, but once it gets into the action and gets into the things, it's really, really good. Uh, don't overhype yourself for this movie. In other words, that's what I'm trying to say. And depending on your likes of who you like in the Marvel Universe or who you like in the Avengers cast, you might walk away disappointed and upset. Now, overall, it's a good movie. It is. It's a very good movie. Go see it, uh, but take away what you will. Is it one of Marvel's best outings as far as cinematography, acting? No. Like I said, there's other movies that I've seen that they've done better with special effects. They've done better with acting. They've done better with. So it's not the hype train that everybody's hyping it up to be, but it's still a worthwhile movie to go see. That's my overall synopsis. Now, God of War, the game came out this week. It's been a very busy week. It came out on, oh gosh, when did it come out? It came out last Friday, I think. Yeah. So it's been about a week now. So the God of War game is a very excellent game. I say game of the year as far as I'm concerned. It is really well done. Now, a lot of people have been comparing this and saying that, well, it's everything that Uncharted and all these other games combined should have been. No, Uncharted had its own flow. God of War has its own flow as well. Now, there is some elements of God of War that I do miss. I miss the hack and slash God of War. I mean, when it comes to, it's kind of hard to explain. I grew up with the God of War 1 through 3. So I'm used to that Kratos. Seeing Kratos as a caring father, an emotional person, it, it's hard for me to adjust to. Did they do it well? Yes, they did. I mean, this is Kratos adjusting to being a family man, and they've done it well, but you're used to the Kratos of old, such as me, grew up with the original Kratos, just he'd kill a whole civilization for a pair of boots. Now he's he's more conscientious of his actions, and it's just unusual. So I'm an old school gamer who who liked the old Kratos' ways. He killed everything and anything and didn't give a damn. And that was the Kratos I fell in love with. And so it's kind of unusual and hard for those that grew up with Kratos to really get into the game. But don't get me wrong, I'm not discrediting the new game. It's an awesome game. It's a great game. I say game of the year, but it's just very hard to get into. I mean, that's like Tomb Raider. I grew up with Tomb Raider. I don't like the new Tomb Raiders as much because it's not the Tomb Raider of old. Uh, it's a different style. Even though I like the new Tomb Raider games, it's not the old Tomb Raider games. Okay, another example. Halo. I grew up with Bungie's Halo. Halo 1 through 3, and I'll even include Halo Reach. Halo 4 and 5 have been awesome games. They're great games. I love them. I play them, but they're not the Halo of old, what I grew up with, what I fell in love with. So, so when I think of Halo, I go back to the classics, Halo 1 through 3 and Reach. When I think of Tomb Raider, I go to the old Tomb Raiders. When I think of God of War, I'm going to go to the old God of War for the God of War that I grew up and I knew and that I loved. Uh, but are the new games? Well, I play the new games over again. Yeah, definitely. They changed it, but it's different. It just depends on what you grew up with. Let's just put it that way. I've really enjoyed the game. It's been awesome. The graphics are beautiful. The storyline's great. The development of the characters is wonderful. The soundtrack is beyond awesome. I love it. It's like I said, game of the year. Definitely go get it. If you're a PlayStation 4 owner, you need to have it in your library. There's a ton of stuff to do. I still haven't fully, completely beat the game yet. I've been spending too much time running around, finding puzzles. Uh, so that way, when I'm done with the game and I complete that last mission, I'm done with the game completely. It's something I'll go back and revisit just for fun. Uh, so definitely go get it, enjoy it, and depending on what you grew up with. I mean, if this is your introduction to God of War, or you're from the younger generation that hasn't played the old God of Wars, you might like this new. I mean, you'll fall in love with this new Kratos. You can't imagine him. You'll probably look back at the old Kratos as a savage beast, but guess what? I like the savage beast. So it's very much different. Yeah, there is some hack and slashing here. God of War, the old God of War, very much shows up at times in the game, and I love those times. And when those times come, I mean, there's a point where he's in a hive, and all these people are, and that hack and slash part comes back, and you're just like, yeah, this is the God of War I remember. This is the God of War, but he still has that sentiment. He's fighting a bad guy, so it's not quite that same feeling. Where he doesn't care. I mean, this is Kratos we're talking about. He killed his own family. So it's kind of odd to switch gears. So I'm still getting used to that, but I do love it. I'm Mr. Anger. I hope y'all have enjoyed my review. Next video that I do will be full of spoilers for the Infinity War, because I'm going to get into it and why it's not the greatest and most awesome hype movie that everybody claims it to be. I'm going to go over some mistakes and some things in depth and in detail. So if you haven't seen the movie and you watch the next video, warning, your fault. All right, I'm Mr. Anger. Y'all have a good one. And if you can't be good at it.